Hail and welcome to the Lightseers and Mystics Haven podcast. I'm Erica, an intuitive tarot reader, energy worker, and seeker of cosmic wisdom. With a Virgo sun, Cancer moon, and Gemini rising, I weave together deep introspection, emotional intuition, and a love of storytelling. As a 6'2" pure generator in human design and a master number 22 in numerology, my purpose is to guide, create, and inspire. This podcast is an extension of my Substack, The Lightseers and Mystics Haven, a sacred space where we explore tarot, astrology, human design, and many of the other unseen forces shaping our lives. Whether you're here for insight, self-discovery, or a touch of magic, you're in the right place. So take a deep breath, open your heart, and let's dive into the mysteries together. As I looked for myself, I could not find me, for my body had become all soul in the tenderness of love, by Rumi. There's a kind of invisibility that's not about disappearing from the world, but about dissolving into it, about stepping beyond the illusion of separation and into the infinite flow of love, of the divine. In this episode, we'll explore what it means to become invisible in the way that Rumi intended. Not as a loss of self, but as a return to something greater. Through his poetry and wisdom, we'll dive into the idea of shedding identity, surrendering to love, and recognizing that when all else is stripped away, love is what remains. Let's step into the unseen together. Rumi's poetry has long served as a gateway to the ineffable, a whisper of the unseen, a call towards something deeper than what our senses perceive. His words invite us to step beyond the illusion of separateness and into the boundless realm of love, but not love in the way that the world often defines it. For me, love is the divine. It's the very essence of existence. When you take all else away, when you take away the ego, when you take away the material, when you take away the physical, love remains. And when we dissolve into that love, we become invisible. Not in the sense of vanishing, but in merging with something greater. Rumi identified as a Muslim, but he didn't confine himself into a singular system of belief. His devotion was to love itself. He saw it as the essence of the divine, the very heartbeat of existence. In this, he echoed what lies at the center of most spiritual traditions, that love is the ultimate truth. I recently attended an incredible workshop on Rumi. We deconstructed some of his poetry as a group, and then each selected 2 random quotes to meditate and journal on. Coincidentally, just kidding, I don't believe in coincidences, both of my selections had some mention around the idea of invisibility, not as a vanishing act, but as a shift in perception, a surrender of the ego, or let's call it more of a softening into something greater. Rumi's words in this whole experience wove through like a thread of gold, inviting me to see invisibility as a state of being rather than an absence. To become invisible in the way that Rumi describes is to dissolve the rigid edges of self, the carefully constructed walls of identity that we tend to put up, and to enter into the vastness of love. It's not about hiding, but about merging, becoming so present, so open, that the barriers between self and other fade away. Now, I am probably going to butcher his name, but I will attempt to say it here. Jalal al-Din Muhammad Rumi. We commonly refer to him just as Rumi. He was a 13th century Persian poet, an Islamic scholar, and a Sufi mystic. He was born in 1207 in what would be present-day Afghanistan. His spiritual journey led him to profound mystical experiences that were primarily inspired by this deep bond he had with his mentor and friend, Shams of Tibris. Now, I am probably messing up a lot of this enunciation, and I apologize for that. His poetry, it transcends religious boundaries. It speaks to the longing of the soul for that divine love, the disillusion of the ego, and the ecstatic dance of surrender. Rumi's words are not merely poetry. They're portals to the unseen. They guide us toward unity with the beloved, whether for you that be God, the universe, or just that divine essence within ourselves. His teachings emphasize losing oneself to find oneself, a paradox that mirrors the essence of mystical surrender. When Rumi wrote, "As I looked for myself, I could not find me, for my body had become all soul in the tenderness of love," he was speaking of transformation, the kind that happens when we surrender our small selves and step into a deeper awareness. Love, in its purest form, is not about possession or definition. It's about disillusion. It's about allowing ourselves to be so fully immersed in the moment, in devotion, in connection, that the boundaries between me and you blur into something sacred and whole. To become invisible in this sense is to allow love to strip away all that is unnecessary. The pride, the fear, the illusion of control, until only the essence remains. Only the soul is left, weightless and free. The other quote that I chose was this one. "Never lose hope, my heart. Miracles dwell in the invisible. If the whole world turns against you, keep your eyes on the friend." And in Rumi's poetry, the friend that he referred to is the divine. It's a presence that does not waver, even when the material world fails us. When we remember that love, the divine, it's not something outside of ourselves, but rather something that we are. When we begin to embrace this, we move differently. We no longer need validation from the external. It sets us free. And there's this paradox in invisibility. What disappears to the eye often becomes more real to the soul. The unseen world, that realm of faith, trust, divine presence, that's where the true miracles unfold. Rumi reminds us that even when the external world feels heavy, when we feel unseen or misunderstood, or in an egotistical way, invisible, there's something deeper holding us. The friend he speaks of, that divine, is an ever-present source of love. And it's a source of wisdom that exists beyond form, beyond the tangible. To live in this way is to cultivate your own strength. It's to walk through life with this inner knowing that does not need validation. It's trusting that even in invisible spaces, even when no one is watching, there's purpose, there's presence, there's something greater at work. So, okay, how do we embrace this kind of invisibility in our daily lives? How do we soften our edges? How do we become more soul than self? Here's just a few ways that you can start. Let love be your guide. Move through the world with tenderness, not force. Choose understanding over judgment and surrender over control, even when it's hard. Another way is to dissolve into presence. Practice being fully in the moment without attachment to outcome. Let yourself disappear into the beauty of a sunset, the rhythm of a breath, the quiet of an early morning. You can also trust the unseen. Know that what is real does not always need to be visible. Hold space for mystery. Embrace that childlike wonder. Believe in the power of what cannot be measured. And finally, keep your eyes on the friend. When the world feels overwhelming, return to what is eternal. Whether through prayer, meditation, poetry, or silence, cultivate a relationship with the divine presence that's always with you, that is you. As we close this journey into Rumi's wisdom, let's sit for a moment with the stillness, the space where the self dissolves and only love remains. To become invisible, as Rumi spoke of, is not to lose ourselves, but to remember that we are part of something vast, something infinite. The divine flows through us as us. And when we strip away the layers of illusion and conditioning, what's left is love, pure, boundless, and ever present. Thank you for walking this path with me today. If this episode resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. I am always open to talking about Rumi. You can connect with me on most social medias at Lightseer Erica, or you can join our growing community of seekers on my Substack page, The Lightseers and Mystics Haven. I'll be posting a short meditation that was inspired by this episode, and all the details of where to find me and all that good stuff will be down linked in the description. But until next time, may you continue to see the magic in the ordinary and the love in all things. Stay open, stay present, and let yourself dissolve into the infinite. Merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again.